I'm developing a game for the first time in GDevelop. It's a sci-fi action platformer. And so there are a lot of things that I have to learn as a solo developer, and one of the things is creating art. I'm making the game in GDevelop, and I just love the tool that they have that you can use to create art called Piskel. And so when you create your sprite, you can import from obviously other software like a Sprite or wherever you create your art, but you can also create directly within GDevelop using Piskel. It looks like a simple enough tool, but I think that you're only limited by your creativity in what you can achieve within Piskel. And so I just wanted to show you a little of what I was able to achieve and what I was able to do by creating a simple shape and then animating it. The tool looks pretty simple, but you're only limited by your creativity. There's quite a bit you can do to create something simple. And so I'm just going to draw a circle here. I'm using the circle shape here to draw a simple ball. Let me move it to the center. I can also use align image to center. Okay, actually I want it to bounce, so let it start from the top. And now let me fill the color. Let's make it a yellow ball. Here we go. I'm not much of an artist, but I try. And then we're gonna just have a little shadow so that we can see that it's impacting something. So I'm going to draw another circle close to the shape of the ball. Here we go. And we're going to give that a dark gray shadow. Let me fill this area too. Okay, so we have our ball and we have our shadow. If I want to create an animation of the ball bouncing, I duplicate this frame. So when I duplicate the frame, I can now just select the ball using the rectangle selection up to here, and then I move by pressing Shift and then clicking the left mouse button and bringing it slightly down. Then when I'm done with that movement, I press enter. So now if you look at this area at the top right here, you can see the animation of our two frames. And so you're just pretty much repeating the process till the ball hits the ground. Okay, so let's continue. Let me just run through that quickly. Duplicate this frame, select the ball, bring it down a bit more, press enter, duplicate the frame again, select the ball, hold shift, bring it down, press enter. So you can see pretty much where this is leading, and let's get it all the way to the shadow up to about here. Okay, great. And now of course we're trying to mimic the movement of a ball. Maybe the ball is a little soft, maybe it's not like a basketball. Show the movement of the ball slightly being squeezed or pressed down. I don't know if you get that movement. So let me duplicate the frame, and then what I did was just to select this area here and then hold shift and bring it down slightly so it looks like the ball just did a little squeeze. Okay, still a little squeeze like that. And then for the movement going back up, all I do is just repeat the frames here. So this particular frame, I duplicate this one and then bring it below. Then I duplicate this one, which is coming up, and I bring it to the very end. Here we go. And then where were we? I think this is the next one, yes. So I duplicate frame 2. Then I bring it down to become frame 9. And then the final one I duplicate. And then that's our final frame. So we've got 10 frames. You can see the ball bouncing. So again, this is very simple, very basic, but you're only limited by your creativity and the things you can do. So obviously those who are better at art can create something really unique and really good. If you want to do something within GDevelop, probably the workflow would be faster for you to do it here. And then you can see here that you can increase the frames per second. Right now we're running at 12 frames per second. If you reduce it, you can see that the movement is now slower. If you increase it, you can see the movement is now faster. So I'm just going to leave it at 12 frames per second. So this is pretty fine, and then save. And now what you'll see is that our frames have been created. And so when you have a character, you see that all your animations, you can create all your animations here by adding animations down here. And so what we have here, just before we complete, we want it to loop. So you can click the loop feature so that the animation loops, if that's what you're going for. And then also here, you see the time between frames, which will determine how fast or slow it's moving. So I'm just going to leave it at that and then click apply. And now we have our sprite here, new sprite 4, bringing it to our scene, and then we're going to preview. And as you can see, we have a bouncing ball, a pretty simple bouncing ball animation. And so it's one thing I love about GDevelop, it's directly within the program. So I mean, if you're building a simple game, you can do all your art within GDevelop. And like I said at the beginning, you're only limited by your creativity. And so that's just something small I wanted to share. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.